Somebody will be in to talk to you in a minute, okay?
What's that? Just so I can clarify a few, timeline things, when things happen and all that. You said you got up about 7 this morning, right? About what time did Ethan get up?
It was before 9:30, because I know I fed him probably around like 10-ish. So maybe between that time and that's before lunch, and then that's it. By the night time, you have to change him again. But I changed him, and then I put him on the thing, and then she came in the room.
Julie?
I think when she had gotten up,
Okay.
and then she had said she was going to be leaving by,
Oh,
when she
so-
called it, maybe like 10-15 minutes after he ate, because he just has a little thing and he eats pretty fast. He has a big spoon.
So 10 o'clock-ish?
Yeah, something like that, maybe 10:10, something like that. And then she came in the room, and then when she was coming to the room is when I was checking up on him. So he was on the toilet.
And he was still on the
Yeah,
toilet?
I left him there probably for maybe about a good 5, maybe 10 minutes, something like that. Because that's usually how long he'll wait. He'll cry for a second, and then he'll stop. When he stops, I leave him there for a minute, and then let him. Usually I'll give him like his big old motorcycle to play with, but he wasn't upstairs at the time, so I didn't. She came in.
Okay.
Like at the same time when she was coming in, I was already by like the bathroom door. So I was opening the door and she was coming in, and then he was on the floor. He was behind the door. The blow dryer fell, I guess, because the blow dryer was sitting on top of the counter
Okay.
when he was in there, and then it wasn't. So I'm assuming maybe he probably pulled the cord or something.
Okay.
And then after that, I picked him up.
Uh,
I put a diaper on him. Well, I didn't pick him up. He walked out of the room actually, because she was right there by the hallway.
What was he doing when you got in there?
The bathroom, he was sitting on the floor playing with tissue, and
With the
he had some in his mouth.
Okay.
And so I told him, no, you don't be playing with that. And so I wouldn't start laughing at him. So I sat on my bed and I said, come here. So he walked out the room, and then Juliana was right behind him, and he walked, and then he stood there for a second. He looked around the room, and then I said, oh, come here. And he looked back up at me, he saw me over the bed, and he came by and put a diaper on him, and then that was it. We hung out for a little bit. We played with some of his toys.
When did Juliana tell you she was leaving?
Since the same time that I was grabbing him out of the bathroom, she had let me know, and I was like, all right. And she's all, you watch him, and I was like, I'll watch him if you want. It's up to you. So I watched him, and during that time, I was still watching him when she was in the shower.
Oh, so she was getting
Yeah,
ready.
after we had talked, and she asked me, she went downstairs, she vacuumed first, and then she went and got in the shower. So she was like, all right. So she took a shower, and then when she was in the shower, I went to go talk to her for a second with some of his toys. And then after that, I picked him up. We hung out on the bed for a little bit, and then he kind of got tired. And then she came, because she was done getting ready. It's probably maybe like 45 minutes later, or something like that. And then she was like, when she was getting ready, between then and there, she got ready at like 2-something. I don't know, somewhere, or she was already ready, somewhere around 2 o'clock. She was telling me that she was running late. And,
Do you know what time she left?
honestly, no, because I was in my room and I don't have it. She came back up after she was done getting ready, and she picked him up, and she said, I love you, and she gave him a hug and a kiss, and then she sat down with him, and then she was just talking to me for a second. I had said, I was like, come here. He came, just laid down, like he put his head down, like right here on my chest. I saw maybe around like.
But she left then?
Yeah, and then she left. She said that she was going in, and I said, all right. After she left, he had slept. I don't know exactly how long he was sleeping for. I'm not sure, maybe a half hour. So he had gotten up, and since he was up, I was like, well, I'm going to get in the shower, so we might as well bring him with me. So then I picked him up, got out of my bed, put him in the bathroom, and then I was getting ready to hop in the shower. But she had changed him. I remember she had changed him because he was pooped. So I don't remember exactly when, but I know it was somewhere between her getting ready. I think it was when she left, she changed his diaper. So he changed it either before he went to sleep. It had to have been before he went to sleep. And then after that, I called her, and
So you took him into the bathroom?
I took him in the bathroom, and then I stood him up on the thing. It was not even maybe like 2 minutes after he had woken up. I picked him up, I grabbed him by under his arms, I stood him up, he was already standing and stuff. So he held on to the bath.
You went into your room?
And that's when I took off my shorts. I still had my boxers and my muscle shirt on. Shot it off, and then that's when he had like fainted or passed out. Put him in the tub when I smelled him. Put him in the tub, and then that's when I started running cold water on his face first. And then He wasn't really doing nothing, so I said, forget it. So I turned the nozzle down to spray the water on his body, and that's when he started breathing heavily and he started curling up downstairs. So then that's when we figured out that it was a seizure.
Earlier when you were telling me about when you came into the bathroom and you had fallen, and then you said it looked like he passed out. You said you picked him up and you smelled that he pooped his pants.
Yeah. So when I was picking him up at the same time.
When you picked him up, you smelled that. You said you thought he died.
Yeah, because they say that when you die, like your body just lets go of everything.
Because you thought he died then?
Yeah, I thought he was dead because he wasn't moving at all, and his skin was like yellow. Like his skin isn't yellow, he's dark, and his skin was like a yellow.
That fast?
It was kind of when I had him in the showers when I noticed that it was the yellow. It was kind of like that thing right there. It was. I don't know if it was because the shower was cold and the cold water running on him, or I don't. His skin was like kind of yellow. It didn't happen like instantly. I picked him up, I smelled him, and then I was like, first when I picked him up, though, I wasn't worried about the smell because I picked him up and I saw his head like kind of flimsy, and I was like, hey, like out of it. He was like fainted or something, and I didn't know what was going on. So then I smelled him, and then I didn't feel him breathing. His breathing was weak, so that's when I put him in the tub. That's why I thought maybe it'll bring him to, and he'll actually come back and, you know, be conscious again. Because I've dealt with people with seizures before, and I know usually what it's like, but at that time, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if he died or he had a seizure or what, because if you usually fall asleep after you bump your head, you can go into a coma, and that would always play back in my head that he could go into a coma and die, or he could just go into a coma and I'd make sure to wake him up. So that's when I put him in the tub, and he wasn't breathing, and that's when I had called her, and he's not breathing like heavily, he's like real. My first reaction was to call her, because she was an EMT and she's dealt with all that before.
Get help there faster?
Honestly, I don't know. I would rather know from her exactly. It's her kid. She knows exactly what's up with him. I don't know if he had seizures prior, before, or anything, or what was going on. So I called her. That was my first reaction. Call his mom. Just a natural reaction. And the only thing is my phone that I have, it's busted because when Ethan was playing with it, he cracked it because it doesn't. Mine twists open, it doesn't like pop open, so he pulled it open and it cracked. So the screen and all that stuff was broken, so I can't really just dial anything. So what I have to do is I have to actually just push the last call, because she's the last person I usually call. I just push that because I don't really call nobody else on it, so that's how I use it. And if I needed a phone, I'd use hers usually. And I have a phone that I was supposed to hook up, but the phone that me and her got, she was supposed to get the charger from a friend or a cousin of hers or something like that. But yeah, that was my first reaction. That's why I didn't call 911. I had the phone book in my thing, and I was gonna call the hospital first to like kind of get like some medical advice and tell them what was going on, because I didn't know what to do. And I didn't really know that, you know, it'd be like a big old emergency. And as soon as I called her, she said, well, I'm gonna call the ambulance. So she called him up, and then I called her right back, and I was like, stay on the phone with me. I don't want to be off the phone. I don't know what's going on here. So then that's when she started coaching me through it. And I guess at that time she also already had given them the address and all that stuff and her phone. And then I kept calling when I was picking him up, because I had to use the earpiece. That's the only way it works. Like I could hold the phone and you can't hear nothing, the speaker, none of that stuff works. So you actually have to have the earpiece plugged in. So every time that like I pick it up, I'd end up dropping it because I'm holding him, and him already fallen, hurt himself more than what I've already allowed him to.
Is your phone at the apartment still? Or?
No, I gave it to my grandma because I didn't know what was going on, and they said, the cop said that he was detaining me or something. So I was like, okay, well, here's my phone. I was like, take my stuff, and she was all right. And he's like, we're not taking you to jail. We're going to put you over here so an investigator can question you. And I was like, well, I didn't know. I was just giving her my stuff because she was right there and Juliana wasn't around. So just give it to my grandma.
Well, we kind of talked about this before. Here's the bottom line. Ethan was okay. He's home alone with you, but now he's not okay. Right? He's dead. And the expert opinion of the doctors is that it was not an injury that would have happened by him simply accidentally falling. Okay, that's where we're at. You understand that? You understand what that implies, right? You understand. Anything else you want to tell me?
That's the only other thing that I could think of, that he actually bumped his head and hit it because he wasn't sitting on the toilet. went back in there and Juliana saw him on the floor. He was playing around with the tissue and all that stuff. And I was like, I just put him on the toilet and look, now he's on the floor.
Again, I told you, the expert opinion of the doctors, this is not an injury
I understand
that happened from falling out.
house, and that's what I remembered, that house happened. There was nothing else that happened
Nothing else.
that I could think of, no. To my knowledge, there's nothing that happened.
You can get out of hand, you knock him over, get a little wild, things happen, you know?
Nah, he wasn't really like that.
Did he bit down on your finger?
He doesn't have teeth on this side, so I was trying to get my thing in there on that side so I could push the tongue down. Because on this side, he has like 4 teeth. Push down his tongue, and then that's when he started biting down. Like, he'd bite a little hard, and then like clenched up, and he was biting harder and harder, and it was just squeezing. I told her he was getting tired, it's starting to hurt. She's like, just leave it there until they get there. So I left my finger there until as long as I could, and as soon as I heard the paramedics outside and she said that she saw him, I went outside right away, suppressor or something.
The best we're gonna do is that. The best we're gonna do as far as an explanation for
I
physical
understand
evidence.
what you said, but you're not understanding me, I guess.
No, I understand it,
You know,
but you're not sufficiently explaining what happened. There's
that's what
gotta
I
be more
saw,
to
what
it.
I heard.
There's gotta be more to it.
There probably
And
is.
And there ain't anybody else there except you.
Okay, so
And
I'm one to blame. Okay, I understand that. So there's nothing I can do. I told
Well, this
you
is
my
your
part of the
opportunity
story.
to give me an explanation
I
of what
did give
happened.
you
An
an explanation.
accident,
I'm
somebody
not gonna
pushed him
argue with you.
over,
I'm not arguing with you. I don't
nothing. Even though it doesn't make sense medically. That's where you're gonna leave it.
tell you what happened.
All right. See you in a minute, all right?
How much longer is this gonna be?
Oh, not too much longer.
Force trauma to the head
I heard that.
cannot be inflicted by any sort of fall. So who was there besides you? Who was there besides you? No one.
Nobody.
No one was there besides you. So how did that baby get blunt force trauma hard
I
enough to
already
send
told-
him
I already
into
gave- I
seizures?
already gave him the
I don't care what you
information.
said to him because I don't
Okay.
believe anything
Okay,
that you've
then.
said. You need to tell the truth.
I did tell the truth.
The baby
I
didn't
just told
fall.
him that.
That's not the truth. Baby didn't fall.
Okay.
I think you probably have some anger issues. You didn't fall. Baby has lots of injuries.
So why would I have
Lots of
anger
injuries.
issues? Why would I have anger issues?
Well, why does numerous people from your apartment complex call almost
Chris?
numerous?
How
Yeah,
many?
numerous people call from your complex
How many?
every time Juliana leaves and say that they hear you screaming, telling the baby to shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. I don't even cuss like that. So
More than one person's called and
Who?
said that. They hear you screaming, they hear thumps, they hear
I pulled up
noises,
the
they hear the
police
baby
records.
crying.
How,
I have the police records right here. I had them faxed over from my dispatch office.
how come they only said they have one and it was for one and it was for me and her fighting?
Well, there's lots of
Apparently.
them. There's lots of disturbances, there's lots of you and her fighting, more than one. Your story doesn't add up, Chris.
Okay.
It doesn't add up. Juliana wasn't there. She says that she left the baby in your custody, your control. He was fine when she left. Baby has no medical problems that would at all make him have any sort of seizure, besides the fact that he got hit on the head so hard that it threw his body into seizures and killed him.
Well, what would I hit him in the head with?
You hit him against the wall or the floor
And
or
what would
the
I?
tub
What
or
would I
the
do
shower.
that for?
That's what I'm asking you. I don't know. I wouldn't do that.
Neither
So
would I. So,
either you intentionally
yeah,
killed him and you like to kill little kids, or something happened that made you mad and it was an accident, or you lost your temper or something. I mean, there has to be an explanation other than you intentionally did it because you wanted to. So you intentionally did it because you wanted to, or
Neither one of them.
it doesn't show that's what happened. Chris, it's not what happened. It's not the truth. The baby didn't fall. Baby didn't slip
I
in the tub.
understand that. You don't have to keep reiterating it.
Okay, I'm reiterating because it's important.
I understand it's important.
He's dead.
Okay, I know that. Okay, I was there.
How did he die?
I don't know how he died.
He was
didn't
in your
die.
custody,
He wasn't
he was in
dead
your
when
control.
when I was there, he wasn't dead.
He was alive
He was alive. He was
when
breathing.
the mom left,
He was breathing.
and then he's not. So something happened. He didn't just die. He didn't have a heart attack. He doesn't have any medical illnesses. He's dead. He goes from alive to dead. He didn't fall. He didn't slip. He didn't roll down the stairs. You're the only one that can answer that question, not me.
And I did answer it.
When your answer is,
I already told him.
what's your answer? You don't know?
I didn't say I didn't know. I said I told him that I put him in the bathroom and I had walked out of the room so I could take my clothes off and I was going to hop in the shower with him. I told him that.
So when did you put all of your clothes back on? You were in your boxer shorts, right?
No, I was in these shorts.
Okay. And when did you put all these other clothes back on?
When the EMTs showed up.
When you
and
took him outside?
I was taking my dog inside and I went and changed because I already knew we were going to go to the emergency room.
You have socks on? When did you get your knife?
My knife, it was on these pants.
Well, something happened between he was alive and he was okay and he's dead. And it wasn't a fall, it wasn't he fell out of the tub, not possible. Doctors have already looked at him, the doctors have checked him out, didn't happen. Well, then there's a big misunderstanding somewhere.
I guess so.
You're the only one that can explain that.
I explained exactly what happened.
You discipline him, you stand him in the corner.
I don't stand him in the corner, so you're lying, obviously. I've
You-
never in my life ever stood him in the corner.
You're the one, you're his caretaker, you're the one that's caretaking
What am I
him.
gonna put a little year-old kid in the corner for?
Why are you gonna slam a little 1-year-old up against the wall so hard that
Slam
you
him
kill
against the
him?
wall? You're making accusations? What's your name?
My name is Sergeant Asbill and it'll be on the report.
Awesome.
So you need to clarify what happened then, if that's not what happened. Because that's what I think happened.
Okay, I understand.
So what happened?
What you think is relevant to me, because I know what happened.
Well, you know what, it's not irrelevant, because I have doctors that agree.
I
I
understand.
have a dead baby. I have a hysterical mother, and I have you. And the only person's story in here that doesn't make any sense
It's mine.
is you. And that's okay with you.
He's already said that over and over.
And that's okay with you. There's a
It's
baby
not
that's dead, and
okay
that's
with me.
okay?
That's not okay.
Well, what's gonna make it
Because
right,
I
Chris?
cared about that kid. I loved that kid, and I didn't stand that in corner. I did not put him in the corner. Why would I do that?
Why is he dead, Chris?
I don't know. I don't even know. All I know is that they said that he had severe trauma to the head. That's what they said.
How does a baby get severe trauma to the head?
I
Not
have
from falling
no
out of a
idea.
tub.
I told him exactly what happened, and I told her exactly what happened because I called her when it was going on, and I started freaking out because what was going on. I didn't know what to do. I've never had a kid before.
Why didn't you call 911?
Because that's his mom, and my first reaction is to call her, and also on my phone it's broken, so I can't just call any number. She's the last person that I've called on that phone.
So you just hit redial, or?
I just push talk. The phone doesn't even work. I have to use an earpiece to talk on it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you, Chris, it doesn't look good.
I understand
I have a
that.
dead baby.
I
I have neighbors that
understand
call in and complain
I understand.
because they hear you yelling and screaming and thumping and thuds coming from there all the time. You're the
Oh,
caretaker. You were
so
the only
am I the
caretaker there.
Chris, do you understand that this baby, this is a homicide? Do you
I
understand?
understand.
Do you understand
that.
the
I
homicide?
understand that.
Do you understand that this was being ruled as a
I
homicide?
understand that.
Do you understand you're the only one in the apartment?
I
And
understand.
your explanation is that you turned around, came back, and the baby's just
I didn't turn
went
around.
to go put
The
clothes on.
bathroom and the bedroom are in the same
Sure.
room. I walked out of
Sure.
the bedroom and I was gonna be taking my clothes off. I had just woke him up from a nap. I had just put him right there. He was standing in the tub. I already had the water running and I was getting ready to get in the shower with him.
Chris, do you understand that if that kid climbed up the toilet, climbed down the counter, and fell off on his head, he would not have this injury?
No, I don't understand that.
That's a fact. If this kid stood up in the bathtub and fell down, wouldn't cause this injury. If this kid got up on the lip of the tub like this and slipped and fell, wouldn't cause this injury. If this kid fell down the stairs, wouldn't cause this injury. Okay? That's fact. No disputing it. Doctors will testify to it. Okay? All right? Homicide. All right? Do you understand that there's no way in that bathroom that kid climbed on anything or slipped on anything or fell off the toilet or the counter or off the bathtub that would cause this injury? Okay, do you understand that?
I
That's
understand
fact.
what you're telling me.
No, that is fact. I'm telling you right now that is beyond a doubt.
Okay.
Okay? Beyond reasonable doubt. Fact. Everything's measured. Isn't going to happen. Kids fall out of high chairs all the time. All the time. Don't get this injury. High chairs are taller than the counters.
I saw some kid that fell off.
Okay.
I showed you before.
Okay? Been doing this for many, many years. Okay? I'm telling you, kids do not get massive brain trauma from falling off counters, falling off high chairs. Don't happen. Okay? Kid could fall all the way downstairs. Not going to get this injury. Okay? Now I just want you to put yourself in our shoes. All right? Kids in the bathtub or sit down by the tub or in the tub or wherever it is. Right? You turn around, walk out. Right? Hear a thump. Turn around and he's done. At that point, he's got a bump on his head. Right?
But he was conscious.
Okay, conscious, sure, but how long between the time you turn around and the time you start seizing? How long is that?
It was maybe, like he like fainted before he actually started seizing, so
Okay.
maybe 2-3 minutes.
Okay,
maybe.
did you
But I
understand-
had put him in the cold
Okay.
shower.
I understand that. Do you understand that there's nothing he could have done to himself to cause that?
I understand.
Okay, I'm telling you that's a fact.
I understand.
Okay, that's provable.
Okay.
Okay, so unless there's somebody else in the apartment with you, you're the only one left.
Okay.
Okay, I'm telling you, I mean, I wish I could give you an out. I wish I could, but we can't. There's nothing left. Nothing left. And you're sitting here saying, hey, I walked away, I came back, and he had this, he's on his way to dying. And I'm telling you, you come here and you read a Bible and you're all calm and all this other stuff, or whatever you're
My
reading.
auntie gave me this.
That's
at the
fine.
hospital.
That's fine. But you
And
know
I was
what?
praying for him.
Well, you know what? You better pray for him, because you're gonna have to answer to somebody other than us at some point. okay? And you wanna talk about forgiveness or redemption, or you wanna talk about whatever you wanna talk about, okay? But you know, you're gonna, at one time, you're gonna answer this guy.
Yeah, I don't need you to tell me others, man.
Well, that's good, but you know what? Explain the dead child. Because I'm telling you, give me something to go on. Tell me something. You know, I can understand if you got temper, because you know what? You got a fucked up life, brother. You got a fucked up life. Well, you know, yeah.
On my knife.
Well, I listened to you talk about it for the last couple hours. I listened to you talk about it. Your life, been through some tough times. Listened about liver, cirrhosis, your childhood, the way you grew up, all that stuff. You've had some things. I understand.
Okay.
Okay?
My mom was going through a lot.
Give me an out. Tell me how this happened. Tell me it was somebody else. Give me a reason why. Don't tell me you turned around, because you know what? Because you know what? Nobody's gonna buy off on it. Nobody's gonna believe you. Nobody believes you. Not gonna happen. Give me something reasonable. Anything.
My story doesn't change. It's not changing. There's no change, I'm telling you.
Will somebody come in when you weren't looking and beat the kid over the head? Is that what happened?
I guess that's the story you guys want to make up.
No, I'm not trying to make anything up. You know, our job is to find the truth, right? And I'll tell you right
I'm
now,
not trying
I
to
think
give
you know
you
what
guys-
you're doing. You know what you're doing? You're telling me everything that happened, and I believe that, but you're leaving out that huge step. You know what? I believe exactly that, you know what? That you woke up and did all the things that you did. I don't think you've lied to me at all. Don't think you've lied once, all right? Don't think you have, but I think you left an awful lot out. I really do.
I told him that he was sitting on the toilet earlier in the morning. He asked me if I had forgotten anything, and Juliana was there when he was on the floor. And I put him on in the toilet in the morning, but he said that had nothing there. I'm just
you can't
telling
do
you,
that,
he
Paul.
asked me anything else. I'm telling him, and I'm telling you. That's the only other thing that I could think of that could have hurt him or hurt his head in any way. But that's what I'm
Been doing this for a long time. She's been doing this for a long time. Telling you, ain't gonna happen. Not a chance. Not a chance. And there will be doctor after doctor after doctor. You're not gonna find a doctor tell you differently. Not gonna happen. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Do you understand that? Do you understand what's happening to you? Okay.
questioned.
Okay, no. You know what? I told you. Right. This is not an accidental death. This is a homicide. This is a murder. You know what homicide is?
No.
Murder.
I guess not.
Murder. I'm telling you, that's what this baby's death is going to be ruled at. Murder. Okay? Maybe you didn't mean to do it. I understand that. But I'm telling you, give me something to go on before you get charged. Give me something plausible. Give me anything. Give me an excuse. I don't care what it is. Give me something. All right? But murder. That's what this is going to be ruled as. Murder. So there's a whole different set of rules going on. But you know what? There's a lot there that you're leaving out. I'm telling you, doctor after doctor after doctor is going to tell you, baby cannot, this can't happen. Can't happen. And you know what? I understand. I got a lot of kids. Kids start screaming and won't shut up. You know what? Things happen that you don't mean to do. You know what? Let me tell you
He
something,
never
Chris.
screamed.
Well, that's not
Not
true.
like
Okay,
that.
and I can prove that. I can prove that.
That he didn't scream?
No, I can prove to you that
He didn't scream.
people were screaming at that kid. Okay, I can prove that.
I was.
Yeah.
I've said it plenty of times when
I
I
know.
tell him to sit on the toilet when he'd be
Let me
crying.
explain to you something, Chris. Do
Maybe.
you understand when that kid screams, you know what? And you get pissed off and you hit that kid or whatever, every parent's done it. Every parent's done it. They have.
I'm not.
All right? Well, you know what? Well, you said you were the father figure for this kid,
Huh?
right? Did you say that?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so you've been acting as a parent, right?
More or less, yes.
Okay. Kids piss the parents off. Every parent's done something to their kid that they haven't done. Now, I'm not saying they beat the shit out of them or they hit them, but every parent's regret what they've done. Every parent, everyone regrets what they've done. Okay, you may not have meant to hurt the kid, and we understand that. Nobody's saying that you went out there, you know, saw that kid and purposely,
Started beating the shit out.
yeah, nobody's saying that. Okay, nobody's saying that you intentionally committed murder. Okay, nobody's saying that, right? But you know what? I think that kid pissed you off. You know, listen to me. I think that kid pissed you off, and something happened that you regretted. That's what I think. That's what I think happened, and I think that's what you're leaving out. That's what I think, and I'm telling you, you know what? Just give me a reason, something to go on here. It can't be easy. I know it's not easy. I've had 18-month-old and 14-month-old, 15-month-old kids. They're a pain in the ass. They are a pain in the ass, and don't tell me they're not, because I know better. They get into stuff all the time, they're crawling into stuff all the time, they're breaking shit, and they're climbing up things, and they never listen, they never do what they're told. You know what? They don't get their way, and they scream their heads off.
He never did.
Huh? That's not what you okay?
So Chris, you intentionally killed him or something happened?
Not saying you intentionally killed him. Nobody's saying that you planned to kill him.
She did.
Huh?
Well, that's the
No,
other
she
option. It's either an accident or
Well,
it's
it's
not.
one or the other. Either it's that's right. It's either something happened that you didn't mean to happen, or You intentionally killed him, but something happened. Something happened.
Yeah, and I said what happened.
Bullshit. Bullshit. I'm telling you, bullshit didn't happen. All right? Because you're the first person in the history of law enforcement where you're going to walk out and the kid just magically dies.
He didn't die.
Yes, he's dead.
He wasn't dead.
He's
at that
dead.
time. He
You know what?
wasn't
Whatever
dead.
he got, Chris, happened right then and there. You know what? And he died. Period. Proven. Right? You're not going to dispute it. Okay? It's not going to happen.
All right.
You can't. Not going to happen. I'm telling you. It ain't going to happen. All right? Whatever happened to him was so severe it happened right then and there. Period. That's what happened. You're not going to prove otherwise. You understand that? Okay? So you're the first person that just had magically as a kid. What, the lamp fall on him? Ceiling fall down on him? What was it? We're going to go over there and the ceiling's missing? What is it? What happened? Something fell on him? What? Nobody else was there, right?
You're not gonna get me to change my story. I'm telling you exactly what happened.
You may not, maybe,
Well,
let
I
me
guess
reiterate
I'll go to
that.
hell.
Maybe you're not lying. Well, you may well be. I can't answer that. That's up for him. But let me tell you something. You may not be lying, but you're leaving a great deal out. You are. You're admitting what happened there. You're leaving it out. Okay? And I don't have any doubt of that. If there's nothing you want to add, that's fine. Okay? But you live with the consequences.
There's nothing else I can do.
There's a lot that you can do.
Like what?
Huh? There's a lot you can do. Find other people to help you watch them. Maybe tell her that you don't want to be responsible
Why
for him
I don't
anymore.
watch him?
Huh?
Why?
Well, what are
Why
you
would I
talking
not?
about?
I like sleeping
Well, what
with
are you
him.
talking
He would
about? That she
sleep
left
with
him with you then?
Why are you,
Like you don't
why
want
are
to
you
take
talking over me? I
responsibility?
listen to you. You can't do the same or what?
Maybe
You know
not.
what, Chris, you don't
Maybe
have enough
not.
respect for her so that she doesn't
Okay.
always have to wonder for the rest of her life what happened to her son. She's devastated.
I know she is.
She's
I love that
devastated,
kid
so-
just as much as she did.
Well, don't you think she has the right to know?
Yeah, she does have the right to know.
When's
And
she gonna get
anything
it?
that happened to him, if he ever hurt himself or ever bumped his head or ever got anything, I always called her and I always let her know what's going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of those instances where you call her and, oh, oops,
How-
this
how
happened
many?
to a couple, at least.
Like,
You know, we're not, no, there's not. You know what, let me tell you
How many?
something, all right? It's not for me to tell you how many, because you know what, I don't have to justify what we do to you.
Okay.
I don't, period, all right? You'll get your chance to figure out what we have at some point. You know what, this is just an opportunity for you. That's all it is. That's all it is. So you know what, you need to figure out what you want to do, because this is the only chance that you're gonna get. There isn't gonna be any more. When we're done tonight, we're done. So figure out which way it is. What do you want to do?
What else can I do?
You need to fill
You
in
don't
the
need to
void,
reiterate
Chris.
what you're saying, okay? I already understood and heard all that. What else can I do? Can't explain anything else. I'm telling you guys what's going on. It's fine, I understand. You guys don't believe me,
Chris,
okay?
we don't believe you. The 12 people that sit on the jury are not gonna believe, I don't know what happened.
Okay.
It's not even logically feasible in any sense.
So what were you saying I had anger issues about?
I think you probably have some anger issues.
About what?
Probably about a lot of things that occurred in your life. I don't know if you got mad at the baby today. I don't know if you're mad at Juliana for leaving today. You know, you guys fight. There's plenty of domestic calls that come in from the apartment. It's not the perfect thing. Nothing is.
Reason to be mad at a kid, a baby. So why would I have anger issues?
Do you have any reason to kill him?
You tell me.
I'm asking
Obviously,
you.
you know everything.
I didn't say I know everything.
And you said I
know
did do
plenty.
it, so you
I
tell
said,
me.
well, I said it's either two things. You either did it on purpose or there was some type of accident or something else happened.
Well, I told you what was going on.
But I don't know. I walked out of the room. That's not an
exactly.
answer.
I know. You said that, I understand that.
And you're okay with that. You're okay with that. I don't know.
I'm not okay with none of this. I'm not okay with him being dead. I'm not okay with him, none of this. I'm not okay with none of that at all. I'm not okay sitting here in front of you.
Well, you know, Chris, I'm not okay having to go look at a dead baby at a hospital. I'm not okay with having to pull up numerous
Did you care for this kid?
calls.
No, you didn't.
It doesn't matter. It's a baby.
Yeah, it's a baby. One that I
It's a
cared
baby.
for and I loved.
And you know what? And it's my job to make sure that that baby has justice.
Okay.
So if you're okay with the I walked out and I don't know what happened, then that's fine. But if you had enough respect for this baby that you supposedly loved, and his mother, and his family, and the other people that loved him,
So you
then
want
I
me to
think that
make
you should give
something
them
up
an
and
answer.
say that I did something I didn't do, so
I think you should say what you did
you
do. I'm
guys
not
will be
asking you to
happy,
say what you
so
didn't do.
guys will be happy.
I'm not
and-
asking you to say what you didn't
guys
do,
will-
I'm asking you to say what you did do. But what you didn't do was just walk out of the room and something happened and you don't know what it is. That's not what you did do.
Okay.
It's not possible. So I'm not asking you to make up anything, I'm asking you to say what you did do, or what happened. I think Ethan at least deserves that. I don't think he deserves to be dead in a hospital. I agree with you on that. I don't think his mom deserves to be in tears and not know what happened to her son.
I've never lied to her and she knows that.
She doesn't think he slipped and fell either. If his mom doesn't believe it, and we don't believe it, I don't know who you think is going to believe it. They don't just make stuff up, Chris. Our jobs are based on facts. Baby didn't fall. Baby didn't just thump over somewhere and is dead. So our focus is on you. You're the only person there. You've admitted you're the only person there. You've admitted Juliana left him in your care. You've admitted that something happened, although you won't say what, besides you heard the noise. Yeah, you tried to help him afterwards, but it's the same end result. He's dead. Chris,
Is there,
you love these people like you say that you do. Give them a damn answer. Just to bury her son. And you know what? Maybe it's not the answer that she wants to hear, and maybe it's not the answer that you want to come out of your mouth. But either way, he's dead. He is dead. He's never coming back. She's never going to have another kid. She tried 10 years to have him. To be able to give her an answer, Chris. I don't know. She's going to go the rest of her life with, I don't know. Make up stories in her head. Dream about it every night. Have nightmares. Who's going to go home to the apartment? And know that's the last place she left her kid, with you?
make me feel any worse about it?
You know, I'm not trying to make you feel any
You
worse. I'm
are.
just trying to make you realize. I'm sure you're upset. But she is really upset. And you know what? I'm a mom, Chris, and if somebody told me that, that's not good enough for me. To bury my kid, that's not a good enough answer. When everybody else and doctors and everybody else say no way.
You care?
Do I care? I told you I did. I told you guys I love that kid.
I don't see you all broke up about it or anything.
I can't be strong. Is that a problem, or what? You got an issue?
I'm just asking you a question.
I
You
was
don't need to be
crying
all
at the hospital.
defensive.
I was crying at the hospital. I was hurt the whole time. I was crying in this room. If you were in here, then you would know.
I didn't see that. I'm sorry. I was watching.
Well, I thought you were watching and listening the whole
Was.
time. Well, then you didn't see me crying? You didn't see me at all, huh?
No, I
You
guess
weren't
not.
seeing me praying and crying at all in any type?
Saw you reading the book.
Well, Leandro said you told him several times that you were sorry. You were sorry he's gone. You're sorry he's gone.
Yeah, this was the fourth kid that they had lost. The fourth. I've never talked to this guy in my life. She told me something about him and I just was like, whatever, I didn't know.
The three weren't in somebody else's hands.
You don't have any other explanation other than what happened that morning.
It was in the afternoon.
Just but no other explanation.
No,
Nothing.
because he was fine. He was fine in the morning. He slept with me in the morning. I got him up, I fed him, and then I put him in the potty, and then that's when he had, I didn't hear no thunk or I didn't hear nothing when he had fell in the morning when he was sitting on the toilet. And then I went in, he has a little potty thing that he sits on the toilet that I put him on. And he grabbed the toilet paper from the side and it was all over the floor and he was eating it. And that's the only other thing that I could think of that would have happened. Other than that, no.
You been in jail before? How long ago?
Just well, not recently, maybe like, it was probably after I'm not exactly sure, maybe after my birthday sometime. It was a temp agency I was working for. I wasn't actually working for the county, it was the whole time during the transition and stuff. Agency where I was working.
Well, we're gonna finish this thing up pretty quick. I think it would be nice to get some resolution. You know, I do think there's a lot that you're leaving out. I just don't know. You know what, Chris? If I could come up with an explanation, I would. But I'm just telling you, there's nothing in 20 years of law enforcement that I know, just not there. The only thing that makes any sense is that, you know, a kid's got, you know, he was forced into the floor, he was forced into a wall, he was forced into the door. It's the only way it's gonna happen. It isn't gonna happen by falling. That's why brains are made the way that they are. That's why the skull's there. Protects the brain. Kids don't get these type of injuries unless there's a lot of force behind them, and falling off counters and falling off tables and falling off bathtubs. I ain't gonna do it. Looks that way, so that way. You know, and I just wish that there was, you know what they have things called, I don't know how to explain it to you, aggravating factors and mitigating factors. I don't know if you know what those are. Aggravating factors mean, you know, if you go out and commit a crime and you know, you're armed with a gun or you're drunk or you do all these other things that make it worse, right? Mitigating factors mean things that maybe absolve you of doing some things. You're so distraught because something traumatic happened to you, so you weren't thinking with a right head. Or, you know, there's a big difference in homicides between going out and intentionally killing somebody versus going out and you come home and your girlfriend's doing somebody else on the sofa and you kill the guy and it's a heat of passion type thing. Okay, so it kind of mitigates what's going on. It's a lesser sentence. Okay, and I just wish there was something that we could give the mom, you know, who she's, you know, lost this kid. I wish there's something we could tell her, you know. But the way it's going to look, you know, what's going to happen is that you're going to go to jail. Right? The system's all going to get tied up into it, and she's never going to know what's going to happen to her kid. She will never ever know what happened. She'll just think that she left her kid and came and got a phone call that her kid was dying. That's all she's good. That's what she's going to live with for the rest of her life. Okay?
She
And
hasn't.
don't you think she deserves an answer?
I told her.
Okay, because we're going to charge you. Okay? So, but don't you think she deserves to know what happened? Because you know what? You could go away for 18, 20 years. Not traffic ticket time. DOC time in Santa Fe. okay? And there ain't no love for people that kill kids in the system. You know that, working on the job.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think she deserves an answer? Just that she left and came back and her kid's dead? Non-accidental trauma. That means kid didn't fall, kid didn't slip, kid was forced into something. No, unless you can tell me somebody else was in that apartment, or you can tell me you saw Julia kill that kid. Can you tell me you saw Julia force that kid's head in the wall or something? Did you see that?
I told you guys what happened.
Okay, but did you see that? You told us some of what happened. Unless you can sit here and tell me that there was somebody else there, there's nobody there. Those things that you told us about aren't gonna work.
Okay.
Okay? They don't mitigate anything.
I understand.
And you're okay with that?
There's nothing else I can do right now.
I think you can.
You've said this over, I understand, but there's
you don't
nothing
get
else
it.
that I can do.
Well, I don't think there's anything else you want to do, which is a big difference. Okay?
Right.
And I think you're
You're
thinking
not-
about yourself is what I think.
So.
Yeah, I do. I think you're more concerned about you.
If I was thinking about myself, wouldn't I try to find an excuse so I wouldn't have to
No,
go to
not
jail?
at all. Not at all.
Doesn't that's...
Not at all.
No?
Because you know what? I don't think you care about this dead kid. I don't. That's why I asked you what I did. Because I don't. I don't think you care about Julia. I don't think you care about that family that's lost all those kids. I don't. I don't think you're taking responsibility for what happened.
I am taking responsibility for
No,
it.
you're not. Then explain to us exactly what happened, because you know what? If you were gonna take responsibility for this, you would give us explanations that we could prove. And you're just giving us a bunch of fantasy, you're giving us a bunch of bullshit, that's what you are. Okay, stuff that won't uphold in court, stuff that doesn't make sense to a jury, stuff that is gonna not help your cause at all. So I was trying to explain aggravating and mitigating. Because sometimes when people are truthful about things, there's leniency. Judges want to know that you're repentful. Judges want to know that you're going to be honest. Judges want to know that you can be rehabilitated. Judges want to know that you're a productive member of society. Right? But coming in here and telling us, I don't know, just happened, I don't know anything more, doesn't show us that you're taking responsibility for your actions, doesn't show that you care about being rehabilitated, doesn't show that you got any remorse whatsoever. Doesn't show any of those things. Those are all things that courts care about, okay? There's a big difference between somebody that comes in here and shoots somebody or causes something tragic and says, fucked up, it was my fault, I take responsibility, I'll pay my price. Versus somebody that says, what happened? I don't know, I was there, I went there, just happened.
I take responsibility
For what?
babysitting him.
Okay,
For
what?
him dying, for whatever happened to him. I take responsibility. I was watching him.
I just think it would be nice that Julia isn't fucked up for the rest of her life. Because this is what's going to happen. Right? I think she deserves clear answers about what happened. I do. I think that family deserves it. I think if you want a chance, I think that what you need to do is show people that...
Stand-up guy.
Exactly. See, I don't think you're a horrible person, Chris. I don't. I don't think you're a horrible person, right? But I just think you got caught up in a fucked up situation. That's what I think. How old are you?
27?
I don't care what you say. You're not going to convince me you haven't had some hurdles to overcome in your life. Okay, right? I'm not saying that's a bad thing or anything else, but you're not one of these guys that was born into money and had everything given to him, right? Okay, I'm not trying to make you feel worse, but is that true or not? Okay, I wasn't made that way. I don't know why you need to be so defensive about that. Because I'm not trying to make you feel bad about anything. That's not what I'm doing. Hey, understand the point. You're missing the point. Okay, the point is that you haven't been bred into a life of privilege. Now, if you want to feel guilty about that, that's your problem, not mine. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to tell you have a different situation than other people do. Hasn't been easy. You don't have handouts every day, do you? That's right. That's my point, all right? So you don't need to be all defensive about that. It's not an easy life. I understand that. Things happen. All I'm saying is that, you know what, we'd like to have answers for the family. That's all we're saying. I understand you're taking responsibility. That's good. Great. But you know what, where's the answers for her? Where's the answers for this kid? You want to go to prison and not fucking, and just want to have her sit there? What do you want to do? Have her shoot her brains out in 2 years? Is that what you want? Get addicted to drugs? I'm not trying to make you feel guilty, but this is reality. You're going to be fine, Chris. You are. Well, you know what? Where's her answer? It's going to tear her apart. You say you know this woman. You know how fragile she is. You know she's going to get ripped apart. You know that. Tell me I'm wrong, Chris. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm full of shit. All I'm saying is that, you know what? Horrible, horrible way to put this, but you know what? The people that get on that bus, and we can show the court system and the lawyers and everything else that just a bad fucking situation. Bad for everybody. You know what? The sooner this thing goes towards getting people healed. Gets you healed, gets her healed, gets some atonement, some justice for the kid. People have their answers. Lives start going again. But you know what's going to happen is you're going to get charged. Your life's going to fucking stop for 20 years. Right? Her life's done. All right? And there's no answers about that kid. That's the problem. So you need to decide what type of guy you are. That's all I'm saying, okay? I don't hate you, Chris, all right? I'm not gonna sit here and call you names or try to make you feel bad or anything else. But you know, I got an obligation to her. She's got an obligation to her. We got an obligation to this kid. We got an obligation to the community, all right? And you know what? I'm not trying to make you feel bad, but you know what? You need to get on with your fucking life too. You do. You're not gonna walk out of here. Not gonna happen. All right? And I don't know what's going on inside you. I don't know. I can tell you about reports. I can tell you what other people say. I can tell you what she says. I can tell you about all this other shit. And you get defensive every time I bring up about how you were raised and what's going on with you and all this other stuff.
It's just because my mom had just passed.
Well, you know, and I'm sorry your mom just passed, right? I haven't had to go through that, so I can't put myself in your shoes, all right? But you know what? I can tell you I get angry at my kids, all right? And I haven't gone through what you've gone through, okay? And I'm not telling you, you know, the kid, you went in there with the intention of killing the kid. I don't think you did. I don't think you intended to hurt anybody. I don't think that happened, but it did. That's all I'm saying. Bad fucking situation. That's all I'm saying. Nobody's saying you intended to kill Ethan. Not saying that.
Everybody's life changed in probably a matter of 3 minutes.
If that. Seconds.
What happened in those 3 minutes might at least give her some peace for the rest of her life. 3 minutes isn't a lot of time, 2 minutes, whatever it was. But that makes a huge difference in the people that are left. They're gonna have to face this every day.
You need counseling, she needs counseling, the other family needs counseling. You know what, we gotta get the ball rolling again. Until this is resolved, if we're just gonna sit here like this, nothing's gonna get fixed for years and years and years. You're gonna get fucked up, she's gonna be really fucked up. Okay, she's gonna get worse and worse and worse. Then you sit here and you tell us you care. Look, all right, if you care, I don't know how much you care. I don't know you, all right? I'm just saying that if you are who you are telling us that you are, let's get the ball rolling and get this fixed. That's part of what we do. We just don't fucking arrest people and throw them in jail. We can't help you, Chris.
But you can help her. You
Can't help you, can't help her. She's done. Unless we get some answers. What kind of guy are you? You tell me. You tell us. Okay, I don't live your life. I don't know what you do every day. I don't want to know. I just want to know what happened to the baby.
You know, Chris, you say you care about her and you care about him, but you also said you didn't want a relationship with her, even though you're living with her.
I did not say I didn't want
You
one.
didn't want more of whatever it is.
No. I said I wasn't ready for a relationship. Don't twist my stuff
Okay.
around.
You guys are
Chris,
living
my
together.
boy.
We're not.
Big deal.
I'm just telling you. You're living together.
Live
You guys
with-
are sleeping together. You're taking care of her kid. You either cared about her and that's where things are at, or you took advantage of her. You're living in her house. I know she gets some type of income from disability and things like that. Are you working? You just move in with her and take advantage of her, and this is the end result?
With me, I was trying to be there for her, and she was there for me when I needed her.
Through your mom's ordeal, or
More or less,
past
yeah.
that, or more than that?
Past
or...
that. And I was trying to be there for her and her divorce with her ex and trying to...
You were around before then, though. You were around before they even got divorced. Every time he would leave, or when he would leave her, you went over there. You were there before all that.
That, you can ask her cousin Jamie, because I didn't go over there at her house until they broke up.
When he left her. They weren't divorced, though, so you were still around in between.
He wasn't living there. He wasn't going there. He wasn't showing up. She wanted me there because she was worried that he was going to do something.
You know,
to her.
Chris, she really cares about you.
I know
And she's
that.
made that
I
pretty
know
clear.
that I care for her just as much as she cares for me. I
Let
may
her-
not be ready for a relationship, but there's a reason why I'm not.
What's
And
the
she
reason?
already knows. That's not what this is about.
Well, there's not going to be any relationship now, period.
Okay, that's fine.
So let her go on with her life and close up this aspect of it. If you care about her so much, she's going to sit around for the rest of her life and wonder,
You care about that?
why did he kill my baby? That's what she's going to wonder.
Well, at least she has somebody to blame.
That's not about
not good enough,
blame. It's
Chris.
not. Listen to what
This is
she's
her
telling
son.
you.
I am listening.
It's her son, Chris. That's not good enough. What if it was your kid? What if I'm your girlfriend, you leave your kid with me, you go out to run an errand and you come back and your kid's dead? And I'm like, I'm the only one there. Everybody's telling you it's not feasible, what I'm saying. And I'm like, well, I cared about him, but don't know. Well, it doesn't show. I mean, turn it around. Say it's your kid. You're gonna have to go home, you're gonna have to pack up his toys. You're gonna have to move out of that apartment because you guys already got evicted. What's she gonna do with his shoes and his socks and his toys and his bed and his blankets? She's gonna have to go home and clean up the throw up and pick up the crappy diaper and stand there in the bathroom and wonder what happened to him. You guys all sat there in the hospital and looked at him on that bed dead. Do you think that picture will ever get out of her mind, ever?
She was the mother of a
That's
child.
right.
And it matters.
I
It does
understand that,
matter.
and it matters to me too,
Then fix it.
just as much.
Fix it, Chris.
Well, you know what, I'm sorry, but sitting there saying, I don't know, I take responsibility, I was watching the kid, but I don't know nothing else is not.
You have the rest of your life to be sorry, and she has whatever's left of her life, which probably isn't very much right now, to figure it out. So give her the damn 3 minutes. You know, when she closes the lid on that casket and sticks that baby in the ground, and that's it. Give her the last damn 3 minutes, Chris. You have the rest of your life to be sorry. She doesn't have anything left. She doesn't have anything. She's divorced. You're gonna be gone. She's evicted. She can't work. Her son's dead. She's gonna go sit in a cemetery day after day after day. Close it for her. And then you can be sorry.